branding and visibility in these events, my friends, right?
Uh-huh.
All of you are here. Those in the comments, we can see your name. I'll mention you. I might even mention your comments, right? Call that level one. Those who are here say nothing, that's zero. There's no visibility. You get nothing from being here at all. I can't help you. I can't even connect with you really half the time. Okay, I might give you half a mark because you're on our list of RSVPs. So we know you have to at least comment to earn 1 point. Come on stage. You earn 2 points. Talk, you get bonus points, right? When you talk, they can see, they can hear you, they get to feel you, literally. That's visibility for these events, right? Dr. Yvonne, let me put
Yes.
you on the screen. How are you? Looking glorious.
Thanks. It's been a long time. It's
It
taken
has.
a hot minute to heal, but yeah.
You're back.
Um, I believe that Christiana was talking about how, or was it you, Annie? I'm sorry. Um, how all the coaches get lumped into one category, especially on LinkedIn and that kind of thing. And um, can I address that? May I address that?
Of course, of course, of course. Take it wherever you want to go. Share with us what we can learn from you for sure.
Well, I can honestly say that that's true, but I think the differentiation comes in to how you describe yourself on the service and what you entertain. Um, See, I remember when I first got into business, it was just legal stuff for me, right? Because I left a litigation background and I did a lateral change, a lateral shift because I started a family and I wanted to be around my family, and 12 to 14 hours, in someone else's office just was not going to get it. And I didn't trust anybody with my children. Um, and thank God, right? Now that we're seeing all the things that are coming out, and I definitely was on top of these teachers, especially here in the United States, um, because they do more damage. And you think that your kids are, and I'm going down a rabbit hole right now, but I'll get there. You think your kids are safe in school with these people, and they have such threatening crap going on inside of them that they actually do more damage to your kids. So that's why I left my profession or my career and I started consulting. But I did the legal consulting in business. So, I've started up over 28 startup businesses and then streamlined I don't know how many, and then did a lot of construction projects on the way. In into being a consultant, it was basically all business. So if someone contacted me about anything other than business, it was, no, I'm sorry, that's not in my wheelhouse. I was very plain and very open with that. So, irregardless of where LinkedIn or anybody else put me, I knew that I was pointed in one area. Now, it got more complicated as time grew guides us where we're supposed to be or where we're needed. In that, things started to morph. When you are evolving, like your life, everything starts changing. And evolution means hopefully growth, right? So with that came the change in my title. It came to change in the way I describe myself, and then the groups I joined. Because now it just wasn't about legal business consultation, or it was about life. And I had experienced a life changing, altering situation that took me a total of 15 years to get out of. And that's why the universe pushed me into where I'm at now. And that is coaching and consulting, but it's more on the spectrum of life and holistic changes in your life. So I think you have to align yourself with the right groups. You have to really define what it is you do. Because I remember my first mentor, he said to me, he says, well, if you had to tell me in one sentence what you do, what would you say? And do you know, I couldn't do that? I couldn't define what I did in one sentence, or even two sentences, because I did everything from getting your legal paperwork together to your build out of your space to negotiating your lease and your contractual agreements. I did everything to going to the banks, making sure with you that you opened the right accounts, that you were good with the IRS, because here in America, if you are off, forget it. You know, I made sure all those things were right. But then, because I have a master's in human resources development and the training of adult learners, I would write their HR manuals and stuff like that. I couldn't define the one thing I really did. I was just doing everything. So I just put business down there. But now the definition to me is clear. I am a life coach, a luxury life coach. But it encompasses every part of your existence. So if you're not going to be holistic when you come to me, in other words, we're going to look at what you're putting in your body. We're going to look at how you're moving your body. We're going to look at your professional life. We're going to look at your spiritual being, because you can't, to me anyway, success comes when you're balanced. And you're not going to be totally balanced because you're human, but you're going to give it a valiant effort. And if I was your coach, we would be dealing with your whole situation holistically. But it took me years to get there. And I aligned myself with what I really wanted to do, not what sounded right, but what I really wanted to do. So I think that has a lot to do with it. You have to define yourself. And then based on the definition of who you want to be or who you are or what services you bring, everything else will come to you in its time. That's how I saw it. And that's how I see it now.
Beautifully said. Now, Christine, are you there? So, otherwise, look, my friends, the two big things that Dr. Yvonne said, which resonate with me, is a groups thing. Now, what groups are you members of? I'm sure, if you're not part of the groups that you're, this shows LinkedIn who you associate with, the people that you engage with, people who engage with you. Look, LinkedIn is a social platform. It's a business social platform. We have to engage. If you don't get engaged with people, LinkedIn has no cues of who you are. Dr. Yvonne's second point was really how you describe yourself. I was talking to a friend of mine literally last week. He does this, he does that, and he's ready to go live. I'm like, okay, so what do you do? He sent me some half a page. I'm like, I'm not reading any of that stuff. Tell me what you do in a few words. There's this thing in life, my friends. If you can't describe what you do in 30 seconds, then you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what you do. You don't know how you help. You know nothing about what you do, really. So, bear that in mind, right? This helps in writing your profile too, Chris. So if you can't summarize what you do in a way that engages people who are reading it, what's the point? It almost shows that you have no clue, right? Learn how to write learn how to describe what you do truthfully, but succinctly. When you go networking in person, in real life, Joni, you've changed. That look is different. Anyway, I'm stuck with that look, right? So if you can't describe what you do in networking events in 30 seconds or less, they'll stop listening to you. I've been there. I can promise you. It's like someone reading your profile, your about section. If they don't get what you do in the first few words, the first couple of sentences, they will stop reading. We will do it. So learn how to really say what you do in a way that makes sense to you, in a way that makes sense to your readers, to your potential clients, to LinkedIn, to the algorithms, and to everyone else who dares to look at your profile. Dr. Yvonne, that's genius, my friend. That's genius. Christina, I wonder if you want to speak to Dr. Yvonne.
Yeah, I just wanted if you can go through some of the comments and so that we can address them, because some people ask some questions.
Yeah.
Some of them are slightly unrelated, but we can still.
We're having an argument about when LinkedIn notifies people about your changes. Look, my friend.
Yeah, so that's part of the settings, right? So you have to basically set up your settings the way you want them. So I want people to be notified for most things, unless I'm doing a lot of updates, then maybe it's a little bit too much. But you have the choice to be notified about newsletters, settings. You have the choice to see who sees your content and all that.
Weddings. LinkedIn is good for pushing those who are active. That's the thing. If LinkedIn will push your newsletter, they'll push your events, they'll push your activities to your network. If you don't join it, and if you're not engaged, if you're not busy, if you're not active, nothing goes out. But if you're active, yes, of course, LinkedIn will help you, right? Unless you're, as you're saying, Chris, unless you clearly, as Joseph is saying too, you can't go to settings and say hide my visibility.
But it could be a strategy, Annie. So that's the thing, right? So you have to choose. Do you want LinkedIn to show your content to anyone, right? And now when you say anyone, you're basically saying, yes, I'll be part of whatever changes you're making. And you can decide based on my profile who you show my content to, which is something that I do because then I have my other strategy for other things. Or you can say, you know what? I spent 10 years building my network of 100,000 followers. And it's a community that is very engaged. They know what I'm doing. They keep referring people. So I'm going to make sure that people only have the privilege of seeing my content if they are following me or connected to me, right? And that could be your personal choice. I opt for staying open and communicate with people that are connected with you or following, your own way through events, through newsletters, and other things.
I agree. Look, there's the other conversation is around Linda's question about how to make 6 figures on eBay. Let's come to that in a second. Let's talk to Joni and then we'll talk to Tobiloba. Tobiloba, is your internet stable? Or do you keep falling off? Okay, if it's stable, then bear with us. Let's talk to Joni and we'll come back to you, my friend. If I hear a noise in your background, I'm minded to always mute people, right? You've done it yourself, Tobiloba. I'm not being rude. I'm just trying to preserve everyone else's ears, right? Joni, you changed. Look at you.
Oh, no. I didn't change. I just I'm pale because it's winter. I'm pale and I wear braids to bed. So it's become easy to put your hair in braids. So here, look, I'm not that abnormal. But
that's all right. How are you? How are you? Are you recovered?
I am still in the midst of things. So I am doing an estate sale on next weekend. I have
yay! So you have to celebrate the joy of that.
I'm really trying. It's so stressful. I dislike this. I dislike
it. Celebrates the good things in life. Otherwise, God doesn't give you more of it, Joni.
No. I am celebrating that I am in a position that I can sell a home, make some money, and invest it wisely. I either building a new home, which I have, kind of my mindset on, though actually I'm looking into franchises right now. So who
Thank
knows?
God you have a buyer. I'll say it for you if you're going to say it yourself. Thank God you have a buyer.
I have a good buyer who's getting a wonderful home, but you sell your home, every knick-knack and little cranny is like, oh, I remember that.
Well, no, you're gonna build a new home that you're gonna love the same way. You're gonna build, you're gonna find your new crannies in there, right? You're gonna find your new.
Yeah, well, if I
thing.
move it just for business sake to a smaller townhome, yes, I'll make it feel like mine, but it's not exactly like I don't own it, but it doesn't matter. I'm not complaining at all. I'm not complaining.
Thank goodness. No, thank God, you got this far. Thank goodness. And I'm happy for you. I really am.
Until I get that check, we don't know. But it looks like it should be coming. So anyways.
Share with us on branding. Share with us on personal branding. I mean, you run a company yourself. You're a star on LinkedIn.
Personal branding, well, which I've always said. So for me, is so different than some of you guys out there. I love humor. I love it. So it's part of my personal branding. I love empathy. Like I'm really just interested in all different types of people, and that's genuine. And so I'm part of it. And then I love, I love love. I love sex. I love all that. So I'm okay talking about that and the changes that go with your body during that time. So I am those sex, love, sex, humor, empathy. Like that's kind of my three things that I know that are really good for people that are free. And but I have fortunately been a part of kind of I don't know, a mountain of different work type things. I've had a lot of education. I've had a lot of experience in home design in general, working with a lot of different type of people in the trades and blah, blah, blah. I have no pretense. There's not a pretense in my finger, from sitting on the stoop in Philly to coming here to Chicago, getting a nicer home, being left by a dick guy. And so don't care. I care if you're a good human, and I care about what's inside if we're going to do a project together. And that is really what I think a lot of the coaches are looking for too, because I'm not a coach, but I've met so many, and they want to connect with you. And I think a coach is better than a therapist. I really do, like 100%. But you want to find the right match for you. And so that's a really important thing. And also, it doesn't happen overnight. Life does not happen overnight. Sometimes bad things happen overnight. And sorry. But yes.
Well done for holding yourself back. Well done for keeping it down. And this is when normally Joni goes on Joni. But she can't.
I'm gonna keep it down.
You did well. You did well.
So yeah, I mean, there is such a wonderful community through LinkedIn. I mean, oh gosh, who can help you? And there's a lot of people on LinkedIn who just need help. They just don't want to feel lonely. There's always someone to talk to. And like, that makes so much sense to me. And so I have no feelings, but just joy that they're able to like log on and figure like out how to not be so lonely. And that's a really good thing. And I'm proud. I am proud to be part of this community because I also was lonely one time. I was lonely. And I remember not remember, but I should remember. Leah Garcia and I were talking probably a few weeks ago, and we just were talking about like the early days of LinkedIn and how easy it was to just pop on and have that satiated feeling like you're not alone, like it's COVID, but like people out there are just, they are going to support you. And I think LinkedIn did a very big disservice to their platform by doing this. And it's really changed a lot of all of our lives. But I'm still here. I'm here. Woo! Anyone need like any fun little things? I'm here. I'm real. I live outside Chicago. And, you know, if anyone needs a buddy, I am here. And so that's, I think, what we all need, just to know that, you know, there's so many people around the world. You're not alone. Even if you just have a couple, you're not alone. And that's it. Peace in the Middle East. What's going up? My full face. My full face gets up.
Joni, stop it. Stop it. I'm doing something, so that's why I wasn't talking to you exactly. No, again, many good points, Joni, that we can learn from. You know, so Joni is Joni, and I think we all need to be ourselves, right? You know, you hear me talk to Joni different to how I talk to other people on stage, because that's what Joni likes, to interact, not just talk, right? Number one. And she's one of the closest I know to Gary Vee that was mentioned earlier. Someone who does their own thing. You know, she would talk, you know, she's Joni all the time, Monday to Friday to Sunday, she's still Joni, right? I know what I'm going to get, and she'll give you exactly what, you know, she does what Joni does. She's real. So that's important, because, you know, who you are is your personal brand. Don't miss that point. We could argue about whether it helps to be a nice person. Of course it does. If you're not a nice person, people will know. They can feel, they can see, they can sense it, right? You know, who you are really matters. You know, again, Joni mentions her personal brand really is about finding freedom for herself and for other people that she knows, right? That's what she does with the humor, with the empathy, with the love.
Yeah.
It's not so much, it doesn't do trash talk, you know. She just.
I don't try to like be like, oh, do you like it up the butt? No, I don't talk about that.
She didn't just say that. She did. That's Joni for you, right?
No, I don't do that.
That's humor.
But I do think, like, you know, personal intimacy is so a wonderful gift. And if you have a great partner, good. It's really weird how life changes after 40 and 50 and 60. And so that's we have a lot of great people to kind of be there for us in this group about that. But honestly, like, when I can tell someone who is genuinely like curious about their own profession, genuinely curious, like they have it, and they're just excited to like take you on the adventure, just show you around. I swear, I went to this wonderful 1930s club, and it had all like normal kind of artifacts from all of the 1930s. And this woman, she was in a flapper dress, which, you know, sometimes that could be embarrassing, but she wasn't. And she was so nice. And she was like, and this is from here, and this is from here, and Frank Sinatra touched this, and this is this. And I was so happy for her. It just made me happy being with her. So if you have a real genuine interest in what you do, it will make any side hustle, blah, 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 so much easier, because you're just doing you.
Your brand is not going to lie. You know, who you are is not going to lie. That's your brand. We have to live who we are. People would know otherwise. Christina.
Yes.
Feel free. Do you want to add, or should I go to Tabiloba?
I'm speechless. So I'm speechless.
Why are you speechless?
So let's put it like this. Okay. Yeah. we are who we are, and our brand is who we are. And there are things on LinkedIn that we liked at the beginning during the pandemic and all that, right? But the thing is, things change, platforms do their due diligence and determine what works for them, right? And like you say, Annie, we are mere users. So we might have to adapt to some of these changes, right? And one thing that if we're doing business here on LinkedIn, we're going to have to adapt to is relevancy. So we got to stay on topic. Your content has to be relevant. Yes, you can have, conversations with people that you met on LinkedIn and all that, or have a live that is about a specific, socializing event. But as much as possible, we have to try to, if we're doing a newsletter about, how to start a business on eBay, right? All of a sudden, we cannot go and talk about how to do a business on TikTok because we said that newsletter was about to do a business using eBay. So that's the thing. So yes, you have to be yourself, right? Not hiding who you are and your personality. If you have, you love humor and all that, make it part of your personal brand. If you are somebody that is coaching people, you cannot completely be robotic. You have to have the empathy. You have to have empathy, like Johnny was saying, and be approachable and all that. But one thing that I would like to stop right there is a coach is not a therapist. I just want to say this for everybody. So a coach is not a therapist. No coach here is a therapist. And the thing is, a coach has the responsibility also, if they realize the person they're working in is really in need of a different kind of professional help, to stop right there, not charge a person for services they cannot provide, but actually recommend somebody that can really help. So that's, I would like to, make a big difference. There is different kind of coaches, business coaches, marketing, lead generation, anything, right? On LinkedIn. There is financial strategies, so many, but definitely it's very important to make the difference. It can be somebody nurturing and empowering, but definitely not a therapist. We're just not qualified to be.
There is something there, Christina, right? Yeah, I think we are all in a way doing. Okay, let me start again. I think part of our personal brand as service providers on LinkedIn, especially, and I think in business as a whole, is that people are lonely and sad. They really are. Whether we like it or not, right? People are lonely and sad. For good or for worse. That's just how that's life, right? That means most people are going to deal with us because we are their friend. I can't say that enough. If you can't befriend people because that's not your nature, because you're standoffish, because you want to be business focused, you lose. Trust me, you lose every time. I'm not saying go out for dinner with them. I'm saying you have to have that empathy. You have to show them I care about you. That means listening to them, giving them an understanding who they are. This is business 101, my friend. It sounds crazy, but this is business 101. What you sell is the last thing that's important. Who you are is more important. Your personal brand is more important. People are literally buying you, and people buy from friends. If I have many clients, Christina, who don't sell anything because they can't become friends with anyone.
Yeah, friendly, empathetic.
Yes.
Empathy is one thing, right? Therapy is another thing.
For sure. But I think as friends, the reason I emphasize the point, as friends, we have to do what friends do: spend time with people. Friend time. You have to give people time. When someone says no to me, if I've done everything right, Christina, if I've established through conversation that you need my service, you have a book to publish, for example, right? When you say no, Annie, I can't afford it today, Annie, I'm not ready to go. I'll keep you as a friend because I know one day you're going to be ready. I'll keep you as a close friend. I will invite you to all my events from there on in. I will talk to you like a friend. I will be friend. I will be compassionate. I'll be all the things a good friend will be. Right. I will even say if you get to my WhatsApp, even better, because I know one day we're going to do the deal. But that's how it's going to happen, right? I'm saying we have to give ourselves that space to make real friends. The more friends you have, the more you're going to sell, especially on LinkedIn, whether you like it or not. That's personal branding. I want to say from my perspective, that's the number one rule in personal branding.
I think also the more perspectives you're going to have, your perspective is not always the best. And people can add such wonderful insights into what you're doing, even if it's not their, main business. And that's why LinkedIn is just, it was so healthy for all of us because it wasn't, TikTok or Instagram or Facebook. And so this was built on business. And this is built on people wanting more of a safe space to talk about their careers, their career trajectory, and also talk about how the political climate has changed that for us.
Yeah, no, for sure. Look, again, let me say this for these events, I love the different perspectives. It might sound like me and Christina are arguing, we're not arguing.
We're not arguing.
I know how these events work, right? And here's what I know is going to happen. You in the audience are going to hear us and you're going to decide, either you're going to listen to Christina and say, right, keep it business only. I know that's not what she's saying. I know that's not what she's saying.
But that's not what I'm saying.
I just said that. I just simplified it. Show understanding, but keep a business focus. You're gonna go with my view, which is let's break. Someone's Journey's view. Let's break LinkedIn. We're humans on LinkedIn with our quirks, and just take people as they are. Right? Be yourself, however quirky you may be. Or you're gonna say, I'm gonna listen to neither of you. Maybe I listen to Dr. Yvonne instead. Maybe I listen to Coach David.
Listen to me. Let's listen to the funny man down there.
You see, I don't mind who whether you just listen to none of us.
Toby, come on, let's go. Let's hear for Toby.
Let's take something away from our conversation. Mr. Tobiloba and Coach David, let me say this now before you start telling me I'm being mean. So we have 20 minutes left of our show. So between you two, use what you're going to use, my friends, but think of other people, right? Tobiloba, talk to us. You've written a book about getting leads. So branding is part of that conversation. What do you want to add to our conversation, my friend?
All right. It has been a very wonderful conversation so far. And I've picked one or two because whenever we join a room like this, it's not about what we have to share. It's about what we have to learn most of the time. And we need to understand that for a fact. All right. One thing I understand is that a lot of people think that they need a business before they build a brand. But in today's world, the opposite is actually that truth. Because your brand births your business. Because just like what you said the other time, people buy identity long before they buy products. When you step into personal branding, you are not just posting content. You are declaring a clear message. This is who I am. This is what I saw. And this is why I matter. Right? And that message, when you crafted it intentionally, it does three powerful things. Do you understand? Which is to attract the right people without forcing you to chase them. Right? Visibility, real visibility creates opportunity. Right? Visibility creates opportunity, but clarity that you give to people creates demand. It creates demand. And number two is that it transforms your skill into an economy. A strong brand could actually turn a side hustle into a system where your expertise is not just seen, but valued and paid for. And the third thing that a personal brand should do for you is that it should position you as the trusted guide, not just another service provider. Because we are in a noisy world, in this a very noisy world that we are now, trust is the new currency. And a well-defined brand builds that trust before a single conversation happens. So the mistake many people actually make is thinking branding is about looking good, which is totally a wrong approach to branding. Branding is about being understood. And once people understand you, they can believe you. And once they believe you, they can buy from you. And if you are here or you're listening to us, you are here with one side or two, let me just tell you that what you are calling a side hustle is often a God-given solution, waiting to be structured, named, and amplified. So branding is bridge between the small version of your work and the business you were truly meant to build. So as we just look into this conversation, here is the question that I want you to just hold in your spirit. What identity must I step into so that my business can finally step out? Because when your identity aligns, your brand aligns as well. And when your brand aligns, the world has no choice but to take you seriously. They've got no other choice but to take you so seriously.
Toby, do you align yourself individuality, like your individuality, different than other, Black Nigerians trying to make it? Do you think you do that? Curious. I just want to know how you do it. No judgment.
Like, if I am different, is that what your question is?
Yes, I want to know how you differentiate yourself.
Definitely. I'm very, very different from everybody. I can't be like everybody, and I'm not everybody, because the solution that I bring to the table is different. What people do, what many other people do.
Give me a bumper sticker. I'm not everybody.
I am not.
No, I'm not trying to make fun of you. I think it's sweet.
So one thing I really want to cite an example just rightly before you ask that question, is that I've seen so many, I've worked with many brands, and I'm still working with people even currently. And I feel like there is a problem in trying to communicate your message and trying to tell the people this is what you bring to the table. Because you can tell the world that you are Tobiloba Fuminiyi. Yes, that does not add any value to the world. But what problem do you identify? I identify a problem that many people lose the growth. They are unable to grow because there are some leads, from lead generation to lead nurturing to conversion and to loyal and to turning your customer into loyal person that eventually bring another customer to you. So you must understand that if you are coming to the marketplace, if you are coming to give solution to people, if you are coming to solve a problem, you must be able to understand that you cannot solve everybody's problem. I do say something that even if you are selling long life and prosperity, everybody will not be your customer. So the message you put out there, how you communicate the message, is what we call the personal branding that we refer to at the end of the day, though. This is what Tobiloba stands for. This is what Dr. Evan stands for. This is what Annie stands for. And until you're able to communicate this message in a very clear way, you will continue to confuse people that come to your page. And that's what you need to put at the back of your mind when it's come to personal branding. I'll just yield the mic.
Christina, go for it.
Thanks.
Well, thank
Hello.
you, Fabiola. This is was beautiful. Just want to say that. I really loved everything that you said. That and one thing that really
Sorry.
can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Sorry, I forgot
The one
myself.
thing that really stands out, and sometimes we take it for granted because at least I've been talking about personal branding for over almost 4 years. So sometimes, I know that in the back of my head, but I might have felt in the past that I was saying this too often, but I think like we have to keep saying this. You know, whether you like it or not, you have a personal brand. If somebody looks you up and they sees, they find a video of you drunk at your barbecue on Facebook, that's your personal brand. Even if you say it says that you are a financial advisor, if that's all they find, they associate you with that. That's it. There is no other way around it. So, if they find something that inspires trust, and if they find what people are saying about you, reviews, for example, how you made somebody feel during the time you worked with them, that's also personal brand. Now, I've been talking about, being human and authentic since day one. Okay. And I believed in that, but I really do. But we have to curate in a way, the personal brand, and we have to stay aligned if we want to turn a service business from profile to profit. Now, a lot of things have changed on LinkedIn, and that probably was reason one for this topic here today. A lot of things are changing on LinkedIn. I love the audio rooms, right? I love being in my pajamas and blabbing for hours with friends and laughing, talking business and other things. I love them. There are some rooms here on LinkedIn. They are so much fun. Noni Virani has one with music and all that. So there is the business part, and then there is other things. And you can be yourself and funny and, just be 100% you, even if you're doing a training, even if you're going live, you can be all those things. But we have to find ways to curate and align, especially now, if we want to survive. Things have changed, and people are saying, hey, my posts, they say they only got 2 impressions. I only got 1 like. What's going on? A year ago, I was writing worse things, and I was getting 50, 60, 100 likes, people engaging with me. Am I doing something wrong? And then naturally, I've heard for lots of, from clients and people that ask me questions, oh, it's because LinkedIn is doing the pay to play things, and they don't care about my content. They're giving priority to the people that are paying for boosts. Part of it is true. What's true is that also now you can pay for, to boost your ads and all that, like Google has been doing for ages, like Facebook has been doing for ages, Pinterest and all of them, right? But what they're doing, unfortunately, their system of ranking is becoming much more like TikTok and Instagram for you. Your feed is customized for you. So with the content that you're going to be seeing, some of it is going to be the one that you click the bell on because you're following your connections. But a lot of it is going to see things that LinkedIn associates you with because of the way you engage with others, because of the pages you follow, the people you follow, what you said, who you were commenting in, who you were DMing. There are a lot of great creators here. I'll say his name, Americo. He keeps saying, I keep, curating my feed. And sometimes I disconnect, with things that I'm no longer aligned with. I do the same. I don't keep every single connection. Sometimes I have to disconnect just because the feed is not what I want. It's not what I'm interested in. Even if I see an ad all the time about some university that keeps repeating over and over and over again, I go there and I said, I've seen this too often, because I'm trying to teach or train LinkedIn language models, right? To understand that that's not what I'm interested in. That's not what I'm focusing in. So that I can see more of the things that I want to see, and I can engage with more of the content that I want to engage with. It doesn't mean that I cannot have a whole set of other, network and other ways that I do, that I use to grow and engage with my network that has been a longevity network. It just means that I have to do both. I have to, do, for example, the lives like Annie does, the lives to keep all the friendship, all the great network, all the friends engaged there. That's a great way. Lives are a great way to engage. Or you can do the newsletters to provide some of your best content. But these other things exist, and this is ranking you. No matter whether you like it or not, you are being ranked. You're being ranked by your content, by what you say, by who you connect with, the words that you use, and either if you're spamming, they're ranking you. You're spamming down. So that's what I'm trying to say. So I'm not just all strictly business and everything else is out of the window. I'm saying we have to create a balance. So we have to be aware these changes are here. It's good in a way because it keeps us on our toes. Talk your craft, right? Keep producing content in your way. Talk your craft. In a way, it's good. In a way, it's good, right? But if you're the creative type and you like to divert, you might miss that part. But you have to be aware, and you have to find the fine balance that works for you. So unfortunately, most of the complaints I heard were from much larger creators. Then all of a sudden they experience invisibility. Like, wait a second, I spent a decade having this huge network or 50,000+ followers, and now I'm getting 2 and 3 likes. What's going on, right? So they're being ranked for some reason, either as part of engagement pods, for example. Their content has been not classified as valuable, and we're all going through it. I'm not saying that my content is number one. We're all going through it, and so what we have to do is be aware and take the steps that are good for us to be discoverable according to the platform rankings that we're using, because we're using it. So we want to follow some of the rules, and also to keep engaging on a much personal level. For example, with people we met here today. So if there is somebody that made a comment that you want to engage or respond to, or somebody that has been coming to this event consistently and you feel aligned with, it's okay to send a message, right? To offer some support. You don't have to charge for it. You can just offer the support because you notice that this person has been coming to every single event of Side Hustle to Business. So you just want to say hello and you want to give some resources, for example. And then over time, if it might happen that this person asks for your help in another way. But all I'm saying is we gotta be aware.
Yeah,
We have to
I agree. Look, your numbers. I've said it, Christina. Your numbers, your likes, your comments, your engagement, the way you see it on your posts, is vanity metrics. Don't pay attention to that. No, you might want to know what more type of content to do more of. Even then, I say your content should reflect who you are in your business. If no one likes it, so what? People are looking at it and they're getting the message. They're seeing you as that person who does that. Even if you get 1 like, 2 likes, don't worry about that. You're really not. It's the most unimportant thing ever. Just like same as me saying having 100,000 followers does not mean you're going to sell more. It really doesn't. I see it every day. It doesn't mean, unless you have an engaged audience, an engaged community of people. That's what branding really is about. Build that community of people, right? That's what really counts. Everything else is immaterial. Before we go, no, we're not going yet. I'm going to give Tracy and Dr. Coach David a chance to talk. So, Dr. Yvonne, Latifat says, Dr. Yvonne, your story is relatable. Have a similar journey to you. I know the young lady. I know she's nice, but she definitely had a challenging journey with the litigation background. I'll come to that in a second. Joseph says, you left us with a key insight. Define what you do in a sentence. It's very motivating, Dr. Yvonne. So I just want you to know that before we go. Sharon Rose. Yes, maybe someone can't articulate what they do. But if you can't articulate what you do, how will people get it? They can't. They won't get it. It's hard to explain. It sounds harsh, but if you really can't articulate what you do, you're in trouble. You're in trouble, big trouble, really. Because unless your potential customers know you can help them, that's what the level we're saying. Where are you going? Nowhere. No one's going to come to you when they don't know how you can help, right? So you have to find a way to communicate what you do. Maybe communicate is the word, not articulate. I want to go to Coach David because he has to go. Coach David has to go. So let's talk to him quickly. I have no answer for you, Alex. So Carrie, how do you buy ALX 2049 coins? I have no idea what that even is. So no one else here does either. So let's leave that alone. Coach David, talk to us briefly, please.
Interesting conversation, and I hope my internet cooperates all the way. Thanks, Christina and Tobiloba and everyone who's spoken. I've not been here for too long, but I wish I had a long time to interact with us. But deep conversation. And two things I'd just like to say. Number one, one of the original or most modern meanings of branding is the psychological space that a product or a person occupies in the mind of the person that will buy it. And much more recently, the value that person or product has in the life of the consumer is the brand. The size of that brand is if I were to withdraw that product or that person from the life and the mind of the person who is buying it or consuming it, what gap of emptiness would they feel? This would give us a picture of what that personal brand is. Now, the other thing that started happening, Christina was on that point, is that some subtle things are beginning to happen to us in the online space. And I just want to shed light on it. The gap between real life and personal online profiles is beginning to narrow. And that's a design of the creators of social media. They originally wanted to know where you live and who you are, with you talking about yourself. Gradually, you can use fake profiles and all of that, but for somewhere like LinkedIn, authenticity is becoming a must because people are now beginning. Some people don't even know you, they never met you before. All they have are your pictures and your images online. If you know that you have a product to sell, you may want to quickly open a business page and begin to connect from that page strictly. If you want to still sell from your personal profile, which is your personal brand, in quotes, then you've got to be ready to invest. You can't just take selfies and pictures and show your lifestyle generally without you thinking about the corporate thing you want to sell from your personal brand. What do you want that brand to stand for? What space do you want that brand or that name to occupy in the mind of the person who is looking at the picture and the profile? Gradually, the measures are happening so that HR professionals and recruiters and those that want to do business with you go search for you online first. So you cannot say you are a corporate investor and then you're on a bathroom slippers or there's a picture of you running around with he-goat somewhere and you say, I'm enjoying Christmas in my village. The person can easily think you're a fluke. And that is beginning to say we probably are in the age of very sophisticated mobile phones and pictures that you can touch up yourself. And that also has led to deep fakes. And people can put videos and pictures of what is not real. In the middle of all of that, what is real and what is not real is also the fact that it's calling for much more deliberateness. And that change has happened to us. And I don't know whether we know that we are in the age where personal branding has become the only way to maintain authenticity. You're probably looking phony or funny because of the way you look and because you approach your profile by being just simple. The new definition of authenticity is that through the line, you're an authentic person. And you may make that mistake, but that's how people are viewing you. People won't be able to divorce anymore who you are on the main street and online. But some people don't even know you on the main street, they never meet you on the main street. They'll first of all go online and then they begin to refer to how they would network and how they will give you business and how they will relate with you and give you opportunity only by what they see and the impression they form, which may not be the accurate thing, which may be funny, which may be fake. However, that is the new way many people will be viewed in the future. That's why we can't afford to be careless. You can't afford to say, I'll do all my personal branding myself. You've got to have friends, professionals who help you look at how you come across. The angle of your head and all those things, headshots, and all those things that you probably would not care about before. We are suddenly in a place, as Christina said, on LinkedIn, where we have to pay attention to them. This is the interesting part. Many of us don't know yet that we are in that space where our personal brands is not something that can be left to randomness anymore. If you're going to be on social media, people are going to check you out very quickly. They go to LinkedIn, they go to Facebook, they go to Instagram. They want to dig behind the scenes to know who you are. If anything in all of those profiles seem different from the main story you're trying to push, they begin to dig deeper. But when it all checks out, you qualify at a level. Now, that may not be fair. That may not be accurate. Unfortunately, that's the new world we are in. So this personal branding game, social media is forcing us to take it seriously. Social media is evolving into something else where it's being used as the new billboard to measure us. We can't afford to leave it to happenstance. And it's a perception-driven world. It may not be the accurate perception, but you're going to suffer the perception. Are you the one we're looking for, or should we look forward? The second thing I'd like to say is that you will have to deliberately build it. You can't escape intentionality anymore. The beauty of that is you may not have done something too much and you can craft a story. However, there can be no gap between that brand and the delivery. If I have a feeling before I used your service, and that feeling does not match after I use your service, you are a fraud and your brand will suffer. You told me you were this and that, and in reality, I ordered your product, or I consumed your product, and then it's on the negative side compared to what I consumed. So the brand promise and premise you gave me, the feeling of where I positioned you in my mind was out of the room by the time I consumed just a little bit of your product. That's the end of our conversation. And if you're not careful, I'll start an online campaign. That campaign can go viral quickly. One tweet ended the lady's career. One tweet, she tweeted before she left Joburg. When she got to London, about 6.5 or I think 7 hours later, she didn't have a job anymore. And she was a senior exec. One tweet can end your career. One quiet tweet, one drinking with the boys, one misconstrued statement. You may have to get people who are professionals, if you're serious with your career path, to look at your personal brand, because that is how people knock your door. That's the new way they will remember you. And there are many parameters: top of mind awareness, brand for me, product that I love, consideration set is a journey. How many people will think of you with love and passion? So you are the only one they are considering for that service. That's down the line. How many will become your loyalist? That's also down the line. How many will only be exclusive with your brand and then they begin to advocate for you? I mentioned 4 different characteristics, all arising from, and this is the beauty of the social media, and I'll stop here. You can go all the way from consideration sets, just to be aware that you exist, which is top of mind awareness, all the way down to exclusive loyalty in a few days or hours, which wasn't possible in yesteryears before the advent of social media and the internet. Today, you can close the communication, the consumer journey or consumer life cycle in consuming your brand, all the way from consideration set to start craving loyalty in a few hours of excellent service delivery, if you know how to play your game. Now, that anybody understands personal branding or branding, that's a lot of big money in the bank compared to the days where you need to spend heavy budget on billboards and heavy budget to convert one person and take them all the way down the line. So the cost of moving a customer down through that consumer funnel and into becoming repeat purchasers and all of those things is now very shortened. That's a blessing. The cost is that it will not happen ordinarily. You will have to spend energy and money and time to ensure that you get that done. So is the hard way the only way? Welcome to the new world. Thanks, gentlemen and ladies. I wish I could stay longer, but I'm in Africa where the internet is funny and funny. You know, we're getting there. Don't let me say negative things. We're getting there. But thanks. I've been enjoying the conversation, and I yield the mic so I don't speak for too long. Thank you, Annie. Hello. I yielded the mic.
I'm here. Christina's there. Christina, why do you say quiet? If I keep quiet, then please jump
No,
in.
it's great. I mean, I was just listening very carefully what Coach David was saying. I agree with a lot of the points made. You know, one advantage that as somebody that is starting out as a small business you have is that you have a clean slate. You can start fresh, and you have some control on what your personal brand might look like. To specifically what you want it to look like. You know, when somebody lands on your landing page or your profile, what do you want them to feel? What do you want them to see? You know, what's the first thing that you want to tell them about yourself? So imagine having a conference room with people coming in to get to know you and your personal brand. So you're meeting these people face to face. So you'll shake their hands and you'll say a few things about yourself and, you know, what your business does and how can I help you? How can I support you? Right? So imagine your landing page doing the exact same thing about you. And, you know, again, your previous clients or somebody that you interact with, leaving you a review or making a comment on your post, on your profile, or your newsletter, that has more value than you can ever imagine, right? Because it's about the trust factor. So the personal brand now, it's about the trust factor. Your niche is what you do really well, the services that you offer, and why you're, you know, what it is, how you can support them with all your skills and all that. So you put yourself in that category. And then the personal brand is the trust factor. And you can only build that by actually having conversations with people the old-fashioned way. Some things never change. So we talked about all these scary things, algorithm, how to optimize the profile. All that, it's important, right? But it's just as important as having those conversations. So you can have your profile perfect, everybody looking at it, but then people connect with you and you say, oh, I don't have time to talk to you. Well, so how are you going to be doing business? So you have to be willing to having those conversations, and you have to be willing to filter. So is this somebody that I can actually support? I can be beneficial to them, or no, this person has misunderstood, or maybe it's my fault that this person has misunderstood what my profile is and what I do. And I have to just have that courage to say, no, actually, this is what I do, right? And learn from that experience. But we can only do all these things with interactions. So, you know, the social media, I say that all the time, we forget that, but it's not all fun and games. Again, it has to be, we are here to do business, right? We're here to leverage personal brand, to build the service business from profile to profit. That's what we're here for. So if we're here to do that, at least that was the conversation of today, we have to be deliberate about it and make sure that every interactions we do have, whether it's on video, post, newsletter, we are offering some kind of value to serve as our business card. So that's really important to me. That's how I've been doing business on this platform for almost 4 years. That's what's working for me. That's what I teach my client. Be yourself. Build a business from the heart with something that you do love and enjoy. But don't forget that now you're visible. At least you want to be. So what do you want people to see?
I like that. I like that. I think Coach David made a very good point. I made many good points. I say, but building on what you're saying, Christina, I think the thing that stood out for me amongst the geniuses shared is what are others saying about you. After our network, they're part of our branding. The people you serve, your customers, even your prospects, people who meet you. What do they say about you? You see, I always work on this simple principle, Christina. Whoever I meet, even if I'm not going to work with you, I always aim to leave people feeling better than when they met me. It's a deliberate strategy. There's many ways that you can do that, by the way. Literally, now you can compliment them. You can go deep into their passion, for example, and I get them to talk about what really excites them, and empathize. As we were talking about earlier, empathy, understanding people, getting on the level with them, knowing what they're really saying, how they're feeling. That's empathy, right? I'm saying, be interested in what they do and what excites them. If you can help them, of course, offer them help. I'm not saying sell them. I'm saying just elevate people. If you leave them feeling good, they'll say good things about you. See, I'm lucky, Christina. So are you. Again, when we do events, Tracy gets the same thing. So does Toby Loberg. Is that we will do events, right? Now people say, Tracy, you're an amazing person. Tracy's like, me? It's little me. I can see it if you look on her face when they're doing it in the chat. And she's like, I'm just me, right? But it's like what you do affects people. So elevate people, and you see the results. I promise you. That becomes part of your brand. Of course it can. But those people go and tell other people. Tracy's amazing. Christina's amazing. We know. Now you know too, right? And they will know too. It's not about what we say; it's what other people say about us that really holds water. I'll leave it at that for now. Tracy, please. You're the last to come and share with us today. Lisa's show starts soon, but talk to us. Take 5 minutes and share with us what you're sharing with us today.
Give me 15 seconds. That's more than enough. I'm
here.
And
you're always succinct. Go for it.
And I think this StreamYard is going through some new version because I see two of me, one on the side and one in the middle. Is that what you see as well? Any?
That's myself. No, I'm talking to myself.
I guess I'm gonna have a different version.
You can delete one, right? One is for those on mobile. The left one is for those on mobile. And the right.
No, I just have one computer. I will figure that out. Okay. I'm here to support you, and I learn a lot from all the speakers, Coach David, Christina, and Toby. And I just want to add something quickly. I do believe that keeping it brief, short, is very important. With people's attention span is 7 seconds now, we need to focus on the message we're delivering, and people has to understand within that 7 or 15 seconds, whatever it is, because communications now are less interactive. It's more directional. It's very unfortunate with younger generation, and also this platform is LinkedIn, for example, transforming from professional to social. People do not pay too much attention anymore. I think we have less and less serious-minded business people here doing business. It's more like a blend of social and professional. Don't know where it's going toward. Maybe just another Facebook, Twitter, X. So message sending from us or sending from any personal branding or business brand need to be focused, very direct, and purpose-driven, hopefully. As the thing I want to say, just keep it short, simple, maybe sweet. Thank you, Annie.
Tracy is always to the point. We like that, Tracy. So, Alavine, welcome. Never too late to our party, my friends. They join us last minute, first minute. They spend a minute with us, half an hour, or 2 hours. We thank you the same way, right? It could be somewhere else, but you're here today. Who's LinkedIn user? I have no idea. Christina, maybe? We lose. I don't know who. So if you put your name there, I will know for sure. Yes, Tracy, my Superman chat. Ignore that. That's my wife's joke, right? Anyway, Christina, talk to us. You're muted. Are you muted? Yeah, you're muted.
Yes, I said I love your new logo, Superman.
Leave me alone. Anyway, I could explain it in a long way. So I came home last night.
I have a T-shirt just like that. Next time I'll try to wear it.
The wife is like, all your clothes need to wash them. So I haven't worn them. So I'm going to wash all of them because where I've been was almost contaminated. So if you were my friend, I'll tell you the full story. But anyway, there's been a lot of gems today, Christina, right? So we've learned a lot.
Yes, I wanted to answer a couple of people from the comments before we leave.
Which ones?
Somebody was asking about, and I know that this is a little bit off topic, but somebody was asking about eBay.
Yeah. So how do you do this bigger business on eBay? I think was a question.
Yes. So here's the thing, right? I used eBay for nearly 2 decades. I was one of the first account holders, and I did it for my career, really. So it's not very different than when you do a headline where you're selling on eBay, right? You have to be deliberate. If you're selling a product, you have to describe it with the words, the exact words that somebody will utilize it to find it and being discoverable. Now, millions of eyes on eBay when you're trying to sell a physical product. So that's definitely, if you have product to sell, that's a platform, good category tree, easy to put it there, but just you have 80 characters to do a title. So don't make a sentence, make it really keyword centric and you'll be successful. And then if anybody's using eBay, just download the app because it's so amazing. You say what you want to sell. It's going to tell you, does it look like this? Yes. Snap a few new pictures. It puts it already in the right category and it already tells you what the price range is and what shipping method to use. So eBay has been using AI for a long time now. It's able to match the product and is able to teach you how to list it correctly. And I saw some comments that now is doing print on demand. Yes, but it's relatively a new game. And if you want to do print on demand, I would say either use Etsy or Zazzle because they had a little bit more experience doing that. If you do print on demand with eBay or Amazon, now you have to make sure that the third party is doing all the shipping on time, otherwise you get in trouble. But if you want to sell physical product, eBay is the one. I wanted to talk about it because we're talking about, the words you choose, the headline, how you present your business. We are product too. So it's not very different than when you sell an item on eBay. So you're using all the words for the item to be discovered by people that are the one to buy it or collect it, right? Same thing. You use all the words that somebody would use to find you and the services that you offer. So just like eBay, LinkedIn is also becoming keyword centric. eBay has been like that for decades. LinkedIn is doing it now. They're filtering. eBay has been filtering their meta tags for decades. LinkedIn is doing it now. This is not science fiction. That's what's happening. That's all.
Yeah, no, I agree for sure. Look, I think the one thing I take away, there's many different things we have to do when it comes to personal branding, right? And don't rely on only one source. Unless your target audience really is kids. There's no money in kids, by the way. Who said that? Don't look at me, right?
Mothers spend money. Mom spends money.
Talk to the parents. That's why we do adults platforms like this, right? And Tracy, I agree with you. I think LinkedIn is getting better. I really do. I remember when I joined LinkedIn in 2015. God, it was boring. Before that, it was even more boring. It was a CV job search market, really. So when I came here, I was determined to break LinkedIn to make it a social website, and the social site now it is. We're nearly there. I'm not saying we will enjoy looking at pictures of people's food or their cats or their babies, but the people that's people for you, right?
Or their
Amongst those,
turkeys.
amongst those people, amongst those people, it's opportunities. Really, your customers are amongst those people. If you know who they are, you can identify them amongst those who like the funny stuff, right? The weird stuff. I'm saying, but otherwise, know your audience. And there's something that I want everyone to know. Branding is simply, it's not how you look. It's simply how you do what you do. Coach David mentioned it. Delivery is everything. There you design a way that you do what you do. See, that's what I had to do. That's why I realized after 10 years I had to do on LinkedIn. Define a way that any does events anyway, whether you like it or not. That's what you're gonna get. Now, some people don't like it. I work with them. I do an event with them. That's the experience. That's too noisy. Don't like it. I want it to be just me talking. I'm like, okay, I'm not for you. Go somewhere else. Then. It's fine. I'm saying, do what you do. If you can't do great things, do small things in a great way, but do them your way. That's branding. Maybe there's another conversation in this, Christina. I'm sure there is, right? Maybe next we'll talk about branding for physical products. Rather than today is branding about your service business. Let's talk about branding for physical products. I think that's a different angle. So yes, many similarities, but ultimately branding is unless you get seen and get known for what you do, and you do what you do in a genuine way. And all the things we mentioned, your brand is a God-given gift. I love that from Toby Labor earlier. It really is. What is your God telling you for how you have to do what you do? That's a real differentiator. It's my idea and Christina's idea, two different things. We all have our unique ideas. They're there to live yours. There to create your process, your way, your unique way from day one. That's what we're calling on you to do. That's what the Top Level talks a lot about, right? Those who do succeed. If you don't, you might succeed. You may, right? You might remember like Coca-Cola. Later on, you put a brand on top of the products, right? But then you can create that today and build on that every year. Then you're going to get bigger and bigger, serve more people. I tell you, it was glorious. No, I need to let you go because I need to go myself. Christina, thank you so much. Tracy, thank you as always. Please, Tracy, next time you do an event, invite me. You invited me in a group chat, but there was no link. I was heartbroken. Put a link there, please, next time. Thank you so much, everyone. Joseph, you're a star. Latifat, so glad you're here. Sharon Rose, all the others who've joined us. Jackie, I could carry on. Alexis. There's many more. We're back again in 2 weeks' time. More importantly, join us for Lisa's show about menopause and holiday meal preps. Americans have 2 holidays coming up, so what's 2 days time, right? Yeah, two holidays now, Christmas and Thanksgiving. We only have one. The rest of us, we've got 2. New Year's is another one, right? It's quite big in our part of the world. Well, join us in 2 weeks' time. We're going to have another great topic. In the meantime, connect with each other in the comments. Connect with Christina. Connect with our speakers. Connect with me. I don't know what you do. I can't call you, can I? Branding starts somewhere. Start today, my friends. Take care, everyone. Take care, everyone. Christina, please, you can have the last word.
Just my last word is thank you for joining these events. I see a lot of returning faces, so just want to say thank you for coming, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
I love my friends. I really do. Thank you, everyone. Bye, everyone. Bye, everyone. Without champagne or rum, but she's success with global.me.